interior of Esmond's rope trick interdimensional space is lit with a warm, flickering light, like candles or something paler is shown against the snow beneath. Somewhere out there is the Time Spider, the Temporal Weaver. You know that, oh no, what's his name? Typhon fell victim to the creature just seconds ago. Drawn it into the ethereal plane. It's upon east. What do you do?
I mean, Esmond's still mid-panic attack, so post-mid panic attack. He's on the verge of another panic attack after calm emotion had worn off.
I hear that a little bit of something sweet helps, and I have fruit bread. No, like, you don't have to share. I can share. I don't need this, but just something sweet. We can't do anything yet.
Describe to us what fruit bread is, precisely.
Inside the snack pouch, she sort of kept a bunch of things that normally would go bad, and at the bottom, they've all kind of squished together. Some crackers and some bread and some fruit bits, and they've all sort of combined into a weird, fresh, but squished treat. Araya likes it, but Araya likes weird things.
I can't help but feel like out of character. This is like a mom purse experience. Like you just have snacks in your purse, and at some point they kind of come together.
Mm-hmm. Specifically, her snack pouch, things don't go stale or rot or any of that. So they do stay fresh. But it's not like she carefully has partitioned. She has just crammed delicious things from other realms into her pouch.
Fruit bread.
I've tried it. It is good. It might help. Just you eat this. You're all that's keeping us safe at the moment, and we're going to figure out what to do next. So don't worry.
Beth looks at her hip pouches and looks at Araya's and is like, I gotta get one of those. My food goes bad.
Your food lasts long enough to go bad?
That's a good point.
Esmond accepts the bread, but doesn't immediately ingest it, and is kind of he's leaned against the wall of the rope trick spell and is kind of pulling away from you guys and shrinking in on himself a little bit, and his eyes are still wide, but they're jumping back and forth as if he's trying to figure something out.
Okay.
Just as a reminder, the interior texture of the rope trick, is it like stone? Like if you're leaning against something, what are you leaning against?
It's almost like glass, and on the outside of the glass is almost like a foggy exterior that you can partially see through, and on the other side is glowing gears and copper materials that are slowly turning and cranking and stuff noiselessly, but there is movement on the outside, and the light of the interior space is warm due to the color.
Okay, very cool.
It's like we're inside of a watch. Or a snow globe. Watch globe. So we should wait just a little bit. The spider will lose its interest as its prey has seemingly vanished, and then one of us who's not intensely interesting to the creature should investigate. and see if it is gone, and then we can all make a run for it, and I'll make you invisible.
I don't think any of you would be able to see it if it was still there or not.
Well, I mean, I saw red. I saw the web. I could see the web when it had caught Zephyrus.
I think you can only see that when something is affecting it, and at that point, it's already too late, and that giant spider creature would know of you and would be chasing after you.
When you have the thought, wait, wasn't it Ishtalan that led you back? Wasn't she just here?
Seems like there's more. Oh no! But Ishtalan was here, and she'll still be here. But she made it into. I remember that she did make it into here. And
This time stuff is really confusing. But can we maybe get it, whatever it is out there, interested in something else? Like big enough of a distraction that those of us who seem to still be here can.
I have an idea. I don't want to do it necessarily, but it might be the only thing that we can do, and it's the only thing that I can immediately think of. We have an hour though, so we could take that time to rest some and maybe give it time before to see if it leaves before then, and before this spell wears off, before my the spell I cast to let myself see the creature on whatever plane it exists on wears off. I can check our surroundings, and depending on if it's here or not, I can we can go with that strategy, I guess.
Are spiders good in the dark?
Yeah.
Dang. Are they? Is it a magical thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I can. Okay.
I didn't realize that you knew so much about spiders, Ava.
Well, it's sort of one of the insects that I liked. I like different kinds of bugs, but arachnids seemed to be interesting to me when I was like 7 or 8. So I did reading on them and found different information. And at least generally speaking, some spiders are pretty good at seeing things, but more important than that, if they have webs, then they detect small vibrations. And so it's both having good vision and also being able to sense other sort of sensations beyond just sight.
So I think Zephyrus ran into the web. I think that we can't see the web until but we hadn't been in the web before. What if it's spinning its web?
If it's doing it now, the longer we wait, the more difficult it would be.
Yeah.
Asmund, what idea did you have?
Using Zephyrus as a distraction.
But we just found he could get hurt.
I don't know, I support this plan. I mean, as you're really smart, and if anybody can figure out how to defeat some kind of weird invisible time spider that I couldn't tell if I hit or not, then I don't know. Like, you can figure it out. But we can help.
We can't defeat it. There's no fighting that thing. The fact that we were able to all fit in here before it reappeared on the material plane was pure luck.
Okay, so instead of using Zephyrus, I can try to make something like a temporary version of the spell that you had. So it'll be a creature that's just really magic instead of Zephyrus.
Well, why? What would make that thing tempting to the creature then?
Whatever Esmond
I would have to cast a new spell on it.
Yeah.
That is a good idea. A decoy that is not. How do you make? What could you make?
Well, I've only done it once, but it was an owl, so I'd make that.
Oh, if I can help in any way, I would love to help. I could cast like a sanctuary on it, making or
yeah, let's
no,
hear.
because then we want it to chase it and we want it to attack it. Okay, yeah.
All right, so
Well, the longer that it can avoid attacking it, and draw it further away from us, if it still is here, then the greater it increases our chances of being able to get away before it would turn around and come back after chasing down the owl, if that's what Ava makes.
Right. And then we just have to be able to escape a doorway that is a space and not a door. Do we go back the way we came, or do we just keep going through? What do you feel? And the place where we were heading is supposed to help us with doorways, so possibly if we have no chance of getting through the doorway, going to the tower is smarter?
We're not in a doorway. I didn't have a chance to explain. You guys were chased back here so quickly. I need to do a bit more research, but preliminary studies show that this isn't a doorway like we've interacted with in the past. It's not a portal or a tear in reality. I think it's something closer to a bubble, and we unknowingly crossed into the threshold of it some time ago. But this bubble that we are in is this bubble that we're in exudes some kind of temporal energy to it, something that, like Vithedrian was saying, is chronomancy. And we are in it, and I don't know if there's a way to shut it, because this bubble could be miles, days long. It could take ages to traverse it, or it could take no time at all. There's no way to know of how big it is, and the tower is further into it.
Well, but if we don't... Okay. We don't know if going this way or that way is going to help us, even if going back is necessarily the right way. But the tower is a place that's going to help you specifically understand the nature of these places where we meet someplace else. And so if it's deeper in, don't you think that's...
I don't want to go to the tower. I want to turn around. We need to leave. This place this place is not good.
Well, it doesn't really matter. We have to go to the tower. It's just, if that's where the information is, we don't have a choice. As
our world is falling to pieces, and these the other places is part of a symptom, and the tower has some of the answers we need. What if we went to get... Only you know what's important there, and we need it. I don't know if we can help the world without it.
Yeah, you already know there's nowhere to run, Esmond. You were saying that all the worlds, not just ours, so it doesn't matter. We just have to figure out the best steps now, and
Yeah.
the fastest way to do stuff. So, is that deeper or back out?
No matter what, we'll help. She'll like grab his hand. I promise you, we won't leave you to any of this. You're not alone, and we're not perfect, but we're trying, and we're safe right now because you had this really wonderful idea, and because Kabeth didn't let me climb a rope.
You, Esmond, takes your hand in return and squeezes it tighter than he probably means to. And, looks across. God, just the three of you. um, there have been beads of sweat slowly building and dripping off of him, and Esmond's eyes have been wide this whole time, borderline on the verge of tears. Never, Esmond hasn't been this scared in a very long time. Not to the degree of being this physically affected. We have to go forward to the tower.
Araya nods.
Let's give it 30 minutes. I will peek my head out, and I'll see if I can see any threads, if the spider's actually weaving anything. Give it
Visibly, though, yeah. You can still see if you're invisible, but then it possibly
well,
won't see you?
it might be able to see me, yeah, but I'll be able to just pull myself back in. But I can
And
also,
just in case, I'll hold on to you, and then if you seem really scared, I'll just pull you back in, no matter what. Don't worry.
yeah, but and Esmond's eyes have actually been glowing gold this whole time, from the see invisibility spell that he cast last session. I have this up for just a few seconds short of having this up, and kind of gestures towards the cube that we're in. So they're roughly on the same time scale here. So 30 minutes, and I'll peek out and see what I can see, and depending on how it looks, if it's safe, maybe we can take another 30 minutes to just hang out in here, and I can recharge some energy and before we move on.
Yeah. Okay. Spider. And magical spider. Okay. Ava, your owl is a good idea. Do you need any help preparing your owl?
No, it's kind of hard to describe. So a lot of it's not really a spell. It's magical, but yeah, I have a hard time describing it. It's like magical, but not a spell in the traditional sense. Like, you don't use verbal components and somatic components. It's different. So, it's not. I have a really hard time describing it. In fact, I don't even really know what to call it. It's just one of those things that, like, I kind of figured out. It's just kind of like playing music, where you kind of learn enough of it that, I don't know, you can think of different tunes or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't. No, I don't. I should be okay though. Thanks. But I'll cast it. She looks around the space. I guess I can do it. I have probably longer than will probably be needed, so I guess I may as well practice. Yeah, and he's gonna move over into a little bit of the empty space and sort of clear her throat and sort of get herself ready like she's looking to try something, and she's gonna cast some magic stuff that I'll post.
Although, do you need to wait 30 minutes to cast it so that it lasts the longest amount possible? Or...
Sorry, it's separated. Yeah, no, that's... No, based on my understanding of the spell, I think it lasts for 5 hours, so I think that's...
Oh.
What's about the spell?
Okay. So, it's similar to the effect that you might see right before Ava prepares herself to sort of cast either in the throes of a battle or when somebody's very injured. There's a bit of shifting around her, and more importantly, the little points of light on her body that look almost like little constellations sort of seem to flash and flare just a little bit, sparkling or twinkling a bit like stars. The movements of them appear subtly, and so you may not actually be able to tell that they're shifting or rearranging themselves from a distance, or some of them, and others seem to move a great deal. With the culmination of this, they sort of pull together a little bit and then extend out to her fingertips so that the light and stars form out in front of her. And as she's doing this, she has the idea of hawks being faster, perhaps, than an owl. And as she does it, the spell sort of completes, and the constellation forms a bit in front of her, with the lines glowing and becoming stronger, more and more connected, until in front of her appears a dove. Oh, shit.
It's lovely!
No, it was supposed to be... I thought I was going to do an owl, but then I was going to do a hawk. I've never done a hawk. Damn it.
No, but there's nothing. She, like, reaches. Can I touch? Like,
Yeah.
Will it let me? Like, is it nice?
It hops a little... It hops just a couple times away, but as you gently sort of put your hand towards it, it is more like a dove that might appear for Snow White. It's very friendly.
Send you on a terrible mission.
Yeah, sorry about that, buddy. It sort of like preens against your hand like a cat might rub against it. And then flies a bit around and sort of flies
Jess, I
around the
think
space.
Your voice is so high pitched that Discord is filtering it out.
I'm so sorry.
That's funny.
Let me modulate. Oh, I'm so sorry, little one. We're sending you on a terrible mission.
Well, okay, well, the part that I wanted to practice while we're resting, I guess, is doing what Esmond's done a lot, and I haven't. So she sort of sits down, cross-legged on the ground of it, sort of closes her eyes, and begins to focus until she can sort of see inside the eyes of the dove.
All right. Rhea's hand is enormous, fingers slowly reaching towards you. They rub
Yeah.
the side of your face.
Your Ava gasp.
What?
Oh,
What?
oh, no.
Does the dove gasp or does Ava gasp?
Ava.
I need to know. What? She's still like, now she's clutching the dove too.
Ava laughs. No, it's just, strange, that's all. It's fine. Your eyes are still closed. Perhaps just glowing ever so slightly. Okay. Chris, I think, can you sort of control or just see the creature when you look through its eyes? I can't remember how much control you have over familiar.
Like technically I control it, but I just let you guys do it in circumstances where it just makes more sense for you to do it.
Okay. All right.
Really quick though, Kabeth, please make a charisma saving throw.
Okay. Is it? Can you tell me the reason? Because I have an advantage for certain situations.
What situations do you have advantage in?
Well, let's see. Hold on. Scroll through my enormous sheet with all my different things. I have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. I think that's it related to charisma. I don't have any other things activated. That's just always.
No advantage on this one.
All right, 1 charisma saving throw. That's an 11.
11. Your stomach rumbles as you look at the dove. You realize it's probably.
I mean, Kabeth looked at burning dead zombies and was like, that's probably edible, so that's not that much of a stretch for her.
I mean, it's
This is much more appetizing.
Girl, we gotta talk about your eating habits.
She only
It's
eats
not
things
me.
that are edible.
It's the That's only kind of true. It's all related to the cursed brooch, I swear.
While that is happening, Esmond is finally trying to keep himself busy. So he's like pulling out the sheets of paper and like trying to decide what to do. When he remembers, and he's going to reach into his satchel and pull out. Fuck me, what was it called? Jay Silental's Lost Ring. I'm gonna pull that out, and after Ava has performed her spell, Doc, I'm trying to keep myself busy right now. What you had potions that you couldn't tell what they were, right? Can I see those?
Oh yeah. I think. No, out of character. I think those are inside Peach's bag of holding.
See, but I remember Peach giving them to me.
Oh, she did? Okay. In that case,
Maybe.
There was some transfer.
Well, I should
It would
say,
be in
if she
there.
actually did that, that's fine. If she did not actually do that, the items are not interchangeable. They stay with the character.
sorry, they're super heavy.
They're
Yeah.
so heavy.
None of that is in the item change log.
Yeah.
Fuck me, damn it. Okay, well, all right, fine. If Peach has them, then
But
Esmond.
Ava thinks there's a possibility that Araya has some.
She sort of like looks at the dove. What are you talking about?
Just check your backpack.
That's half out of character.
Honestly, I never scroll down to my items, so it's always a surprise. She goes and rummages through her bag. No, I mean, what's this doing here?
Yes.
No, I don't have any of those.
Oh, damn it. All right.
But she does sort of sheepishly pull out a screwdriver that looks familiar to Ez. Well, how long has this been in there? It's Gwen's favorite screwdriver.
Did my mom give that to you before we left?
No, I just, no. No. Not intentionally.
Why don't you hold on to it and you can give it to her when we eventually return?
I will. I promise I will. I didn't know this was in here. She's sort of like, there's like, oh, there is a potion of... Okay, did we know that it's a potion of catnap? Or is that one of the ones that we have not?
No, there are specifically 2 potions that have not been identified.
Okay, it would have been like potion question mark question, because like I've got a potion of catnap.
Yeah.
All right. So she's got like, flasks of oil, another flask of oil.
Okay, well, if we can't find those potions, Esmond will just kind of shrug, meekly smile at Araya holding on to Gwen's favorite screwdriver, and will ritually cast Identify on this ring that we found.
Tell us what it looks like as you cast the Identify spell.
Esmond places the ring in front of him where he's sitting, and he takes the end of his wand and he draws a small circle. Draws a small circle surrounding the ring, which once completed begins to start glowing a dull white shine. As it glows, Esmond holds one hand kind of over the circle and the end of the wand, and his other hand on the edge of the circle, and his eyes are flashing back and forth between the gold color of the See Invisibility spell and the same dull colored white as the circle that he just drew. And his eyes are shifting back and forth as he is seemingly interchanging between these 2 active spells and is absorbing whatever information that he can about this ring.
As a question before we continue, do you still have Detect Magic cast?
I do. So. Yes.
You do have.
I recast it at the end of last session.
Okay. As you cast the spell, the moment that it completes, there is a dissonant, terrible feedback that sends a shock of pain through your mind. You hear the sound of cracking ice, and through your Detect Magic, you see a pulse of red and gold intertwined kind of go out in every direction. It passes through the walls of your rope trick into some unknown distance. The Identify spell cannot work. And please roll an Arcana check.
I think I still technically have advantage because Ava had cast Enhance Ability for intelligence checks at the end of last session, or last session, which lasts an hour, I believe.
As long as it's not concentration. No,
it is. It. I don't know if it is or not. Is it?
That might be fine though, because you have Sanctuary, which is not concentration. That's
true. Yeah. You're right.
But Sanctuary is not concentration.
Sanctuary is not. No.
So you should be. I don't think you've cast anything else that requires concentration, have you?
I did. Technically.
Okay.
You did. Heroism. I see it now. Or, no, that was Peach.
Peach?
Calm Emotions.
Calm Emotions.
Calm Emotions, that's right. Okay, so, alright, just double checking, so no advantage. Straight roll.
Dirty 21. Nice. As you see this go out and you see it through the Detect Magic, you connect the dots on a chapter of the research you had been reading in Mirwood. The researcher who had been trying to understand what happened to the magic of the givers and the fabricators, why it wasn't working, so the changes in the weave and some spells that would no longer work and have not worked since the tower appeared. Not only has the Identify spell failed, you have some better understanding of why it's failed, but also, like tapping a hammer on ice, ripples have been sent out through the weave itself. And you see it pulse out, most likely, what you understand now, into the space between.
Cool. Fuck. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how Esmond reacts.
Badly, usually. It's not.
There's-
Actually, roll perception check. Yeah, roll perception check. No, it has one. It's a 19. Pretty good. As the pulse goes out, the dim aura, celestial aura around Zephyrus, flares up for just a moment, and then settles back down.
At the end of the of ritual casting, Identify, and all that happening, Esmond, like everyone in the rope trick sees Esmond kind of like almost get thrown backwards. He suffers severe whiplash, as if he's been like shoved and with incredible force back against the wall, and he just like goes to hold his head, and just like his eyes return to being as wide as they were before.
Clutching bird. Ava, tighter. What?
Ava, through your 360-degree ray of vision, Araya's face is enormous. So close.
Ha 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 ha!
Soothing the bird.
Kabath, could you please hold me by the scruff of my poncho? And Esmond is going to quickly dip his head out of the rope trick and do like just like a quick scope around to see where the spider is.
Chris, before he does that, before she grabs on, I'm gonna activate one of my things just in case. I'm gonna impact. I have to click it because I renamed it.
Oh, what would you like to do? Tell us about it.
I'm just activating my channel divinity, which would take a bonus action normally if we're doing economy. I am augmenting my athleticism just in case. I don't know if we've ever used this though, so I don't know how you would want to make it affect jumping and stuff if that comes into play, because some stuff hasn't stacked, but other things kind of have. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. In the meantime, I have advantage on strength and dex, athletics, and acrobatic checks, just in case.
Yeah, we let advantages can stack, so you can have multiple advantages that stack together.
Yeah, I just have like so many things that modify my jumping at this point that it's like, I can't remember which one supersedes the other. Anyways, carry on. Beth grabs the back of Ez and holds on tight, and she kind of like braces herself, like she like gets low to base herself so that her center of gravity's low, and holds on to him as he peeks his head out the bottom.
As they're setting up to do this, and Ava's talking towards him, wait, won't that maybe if you poke your head out, like, reveal where we are? She says as they're doing this.
No, something else might actually get his attention, and it might be my fault again. And dip my head out.
Immediately, the cold winter air bites against your skin, so much more chill than the warmer, more cozy environment in your rope trick. You can feel the color flush to your cheeks, and especially as you're hung upside down, blood all rushing to your head. At first, it's hard to tell what's what. You just see the darker colors of the trees around you. It's hard to tell sky from ground with the overcast. But after a moment, you figure it out. Peering out through in both the primaterial plane and the ethereal plane through seen visibility, you see long-running webs, crimson thin lines, just all directions from tree to tree. It's like it's anchored to some things that don't even seem to actually be there. You see in the ethereal plane the remains of Typhon on the ground, but but disturbed, like they've been scattered apart. And no, wait, not all of it's there. But the spider, the temporal weaver, you don't see it. It's not there.
Tap Gabeth's hand to pull me back up. Okay, that's good, I guess. Something happened when I tried to identify the ring. I still don't know what spell is actually cast on it currently. But when I tried to perform the ritual for it, something happened. It didn't work. There was just a release of pure arcana that blew me back. It traveled through all planes. It traveled.
Hey, Esmond, just for a second, just take a really deep breath, hold it, count to 10, and then exhale, and then say anything you need to, because you can do this. You're smart, but just you need to calm down just a little. Just big deep breath. Hold.
Ava.
Just let it out.
Oh, it's working. Okay.
You got this.
You really do.
When I performed the ritual to identify the ring, it didn't work, and instead, pure magic erupted from the center of the spell in all directions, through all planes, the ethereal, the primaterial, and even here, the rope trick, spreading from here beyond. Anything that can detect arcana or any kind of magic would be able to sense it, which is why I ducked my head out just now to see if the spider would have been on us. It doesn't appear to be here, though. It seems to have taken a majority of Typhon's remains elsewhere. It may have already left to return back, but if it sensed that blast of magic, it might return. So I should continue to keep an eye out for it, but I still think that we should stay here for some time longer. It did spread more webbing.
Shit.
Not a terrible amount. We can still navigate through it, but I want to check back periodically, because if it is spreading more webbing, then we will need to leave sooner than before the rope trick times out.
Shouldn't we leave while it's not around? If you think it's not here, we should go now.
If it's not here, my concern is that it would detect that blast of arcane energy that just erupted from that failed identification spell that I used, in which case it would be coming back here. It still wouldn't be able to detect or access this pocket dimension I've created, I don't think, but it would still be coming and searching the area again, so I want to check back next 10, 15 minutes or so and see what it looks like.
But if it's gone now and you didn't see it, us leaving and then recasting the rope trip and yes, no, I think this is a good idea. And we sort of hopscotch.
Chris, we're near our camp that we had set up, right?
Yeah, quite near.
Did we have anything like a cart or something that could be a makeshift sled?
I don't remember you guys having anything like that, but like a big sheet of fabric could be used as like a travois.
Clutches her robes.
Could it hold my friends?
If
You
you
can toss us in a bag.
If you have fabric that's large enough to hold everyone, you certainly could. It might be a bumpy ride, but
I mean, so Kaveth be like, well, if we had something that you guys could sit in and I could pull, I've got a lot of magic these days that helps me be even stronger and I can run fast and even if I can't run as fast as normal, pulling you guys, I still could probably run faster than you guys could run on your own, especially through this kind of heavy snow, and I could get all of us out of the area a little bit faster.
And then we cast the rope trip again and hopscotch. Running, hiding, great ideas. Towards the tower.
Esmond, as they're saying this, the sound of their voices is getting farther away. It feels like you feel a strange feeling in your chest, a tension of gravity, as though your heart is being pulled down deeper into your stomach. You realize your palms are sweating as though there's something you're afraid of, but what are you afraid of? And then you see it at the edge of the wall of your rope trick. There is a fissure forming.
Doc, do you have that? Do you have that dove now?
And she's right there.
Esmond is going to grasp the dove, and he's going to cast Gift of Alacrity onto the dove.
Oh, okay. I guess we're doing this now. Rhea,
You guys
Sanctuary!
see him looking at the wall as where the fissure is appearing.
She's gonna put a little kiss on the dove with Sanctuary. Good luck.
You see a golden light beginning to spill through the fissure on the wall. It's slowly eating its way into the rope trip space.
Ava nods towards Rhea and gestures towards the hole. All right, here we go.
I'm gonna yeet it out though.
Chris, we can all see the hole.
Yes.
And
It's like a tear that's beginning.
Sorry,
sorry.
I'm just grabbing a hand onto as either his arm or his shoulder, and I'm gonna hold on to him. And then go ahead, Ava.
Yep, she communicates to the dove to fly. Sorry, I'm turned around as a player. We don't have a map. I don't know which direction the tower is versus which direction the other one is, but the opposite direction of where we're headed is the direction.
Tower is east. Tower is east.
The bird is gonna fly west.
Okay. So, from your perspective, you're a bird. You have Gift of Alacrity cast on you. Is that the extent?
And Sanctuary.
And Sanctuary. Okay.
Tempting and mildly protective.
Right. So the bird goes flying out through the opening and taking off into the west. Is that correct?
Yes. Oh, it has one more. Gotta cast this. Esmond, have him cast prestidigitation to make the bird taste better. Before it. No, I'm just kidding.
Super occupied.
I'm joking. It's fine. Yeah, the bird. That's it. The bird's flying opposite direction. Gift of Alacrity, and Sanctuary from Araya.
Okay. Blind to the potential dangers ahead of the bird, it goes flying off into the west. Please roll Insight. No, just the bird.
It's the bird.
Is that a roll for you or a roll for the bird?
Well, he's inside the bird's head, watching the things the bird's watching.
Yeah, I have no idea how to roll insight for the bird. Do I have to look up a pigeon in 5e to figure out what its wisdom is?
Yeah. Well, what was your base roll on the die?
Oh, it was
16. Natural
16.
16.
Oh, not too bad actually. Do you happen to know the movement speed of the bird?
120.
Is it
I think it's
laden?
120.
One.
What's the wind speed velocity of a lake? It's like carrying a coconut.
The dove goes twisting, spinning through the air. Somewhere in the distance, there's some thematic music playing. The bird makes it its full movement speed, 120 feet, before you see it get tangled in something unseen. There are fractures of red kind of through your vision, distorting your view through the bird's gaze. It has been seemingly caught in the webbing of the temporal spider, but it's made it a full 120 feet to the west before it happened.
Ava sort of gasps that happens and says, "Oh no, it got caught. It's like 100 feet that way, maybe."
As Ava says this, the tear in the side of the rope trick widens, and you see golden tendrils of light you realize are in the shape of those wings begin to spread their way into the space.
Wait, you described them as wings breaking into the space?
Yes.
Oh no, this is much worse. This is much worse. Oh God.
Does Ava recognize the wings?
Do we see this, or only Ez because he's got eyeballs?
Ava, are you back in your own vision?
Yeah, she doesn't want to see the bird get eaten.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Right, so you pull back into yourself and to see the spreading golden lights, and your stomach sinks because you've seen this before.
What's going on,
Ava-
you guys?
Ava turns a paler shade of white and then starts to breathe quickly and then just jumps down the rope.
You don't tap.
She, full, just absolutely just, and
Wait,
just
Ava, what?
starts to run.
Guys, we have to go now. We have to get out now. And Esmond falls behind her, actually.
I will jump down and then I will hold my arms out to catch Araya.
Araya. As you see your friends jump, arms out.
What do I see? Do I see any?
Please, if you would, roll a perception check.
Oh, I'm gonna be great at this.
Oh, failure. It's just enough to tear yourself away, and you're able to jump down.
I just don't understand. But okay, is it the spider? Is the inside the rope?
You're the only one in there.
Oh, I'm jumping down after them.
Okay.
It's gonna catch me.
So, yeah, you go leaping out just in time to feel and see golden light spread out through the rope trick space behind you as you go leaping down into Kabeth's arms.
I guess I'm staring up at it's golden light, and that's all we see. It's just like
There's golden light filling the space above. Are you looking up into it?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you in a moment. Esmond, you see, is it an arm? Is it a hand? Something is beginning to... Okay, go ahead.
Esmond has jumped down as soon as he sees Araya fall into Kabeth's huge, bulging arms. He'll turn up and witness the glowing energy coming from the rope trick and something peering out from the actual doorway of it. And he just takes his wand, he just crosses it into the air, dismissing rope trick.
Just as you see a hand begin to reach for the aperture that leads down into your world, the rope trick vanishes. Araya, you realize your heart is pounding. Please roll a charisma saving throw, DC 35.
To be clear, I also have not put Araya down. I am holding Araya.
Angela?
I can't make that. I made a 26.
26 is pretty good, but not good enough.
No, it's
You
certainly
realize
not good
your
enough.
heart is pounding. You have seen something horrible, but you can't remember what it looks like.
She has like a silent scream from her mouth and cowers into Kabeth's arms. It was
Ava had, once she hit the ground out on the snow, she fell backwards a little bit and began scampering blindly in a somewhat in the direction of the tower, looking back up and running sort of blindly, her vision tearing her eyes between where she's running and looking back at the space where the rope was, and has begun running that direction, vaguely that direction.
Kabeth looks at Ez holding Araya, and it's just like, do we...
First things first, Esmond dismisses rope trick, turns to see Ava running away and not wanting to yell, is going to cast Levitate on her to try and stop her in her tracks.
Do you resist the levitate spell, Ava?
Yeah. Only because she's panicked, so she doesn't understand what's going
Wait,
on.
which way are you running?
She was running vaguely in the direction of the tower, is my best guess. I didn't want to say
Our east. Got it.
Yeah, vaguely running.
Please roll a saving throw.
DC 17 con.
Con? Oh, yeah, she's gonna float.
Oh no. Ava, as you run frantically toward the east, heart pounding, sweat on your palms, you realize whatever it is has gotten you. You begin to lift up into the air.
Yep, she's screaming. She's absolutely screaming.
Doc. Ava, stop. It's me. Just stop. It's gone.
She's very slowly starts to calm down a little bit, but she is very afraid.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to yell, but and possibly attract anything else. I was just trying to get you to stop. I'm bringing you back down to our level, okay? And you notice that this particular version of Levitate, there's like warm sparks of blue lightning, of blue energy crackling around you that are kind of keeping you aloft in the air. And as you are brought down, those sparks become less frequent.
Husband, do you still have see invisibility cast?
I do. I'm keeping an eye out for webbing in our path.
All right. So the bird flew west. You guys have gone running to the east just a little bit. You see the webs beginning to tremble and pluck. You hear chimes cast between them, growing more frequent.
Okay, everyone, time to go. Now I'm leading the way. And Esmond takes off.
Should we be invisible? She becomes invisible, regardless.
Which direction?
I'm still holding her, so I look confused, but because I still feel her weight,
Like,
but I
really?
can't see her anymore, and I'm just like, you feel me grip you tighter. I'm very confused.
Like holding a cat, claws and tail, and just like...
Oh, that's a perfect description.
Which direction do you run, Esmond?
I'm running towards camp, the small camp that we'd made in consideration of the cart that we had left there, that Kabeth had interestingly strategized using.
Oh,
We
I
had a
forgot
cart.
about the cart.
We have a cart?
Yeah, we have a cart.
Oh.
Yeah, we
must
had
have been-
supplies.
So, I thought we had a cart.
Where did we
That's
get
why
a
I was
cart?
like,
Isn't that
Yeah.
what we were just
The
discussing?
supplies. The
Yeah,
supplies.
but where did we get the cart?
From the town that we eradicated zombie
Whoa.
stuff.
oh no, we had a llama. Remember we had llamas at the beginning
yeah.
of the journey?
We had a whole
Forgot
fucking
about all
cart.
that.
No, and that makes sense traveling along the railroad, but you guys are in total wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not the cart wouldn't work here.
Okay, and I mean, considering that, just heading east in the direction of the tower, wary of any webbing along our path.
Esmond, roll a perception or investigation check, your choice. Or
Come
survival.
on, Esmond. Come on, Esmond.
That's a 36 investigation.
Does he pass?
He does pass. Looking around, you see the vibrations of all the webs in the ethereal plane around you, and you realize if you go east, you are heading right into the temporal weaver.
Okay, we will head. What direction does the webbing look less dense, at north or south?
From these distances, uniform.
Then we're heading north. Let's go.
All right, you turn and take a run to the north. All right, as you guys
I'm
begin to
following, and I'm still carrying Araya. I have not put invisible Araya down.
Absolutely, Ava.
I can
probably
make you invisible.
Ava's stumbling along with you. Let's see. What are you guys holding? What are you wearing? What spells do you have cast on you? What's like your combat readiness right now?
I always have mage armor.
Yeah, Ava's
The bird
got...
did I feel the bird get eaten with the sanctuary Glypha?
He's not eaten yet.
Not eaten yet. Still, I have cast sanctuary. It is up for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Ava's got her own gift of alacrity, not Esmond's, and mage armor. She has her shield on her back, nothing in her hands.
Esmond has, as usual, his his buckler shield on his right forearm, his wand at the ready, and he's got his fucking gun in a satchel. I had cast detect magic immediately after we all got into the rope trick subspace. It lasts only for 10 minutes as a concentration spell. I don't know how much time has passed.
I'm sorry, which spell are you asking about right now?
Detect magic.
Okay, detect magic. And you cast it right when you went into the rope trick?
Correct.
Okay, it's just about wearing off. We'll say it's been 10 minutes specifically.
Okay, so then that would mean I have 50-ish minutes remaining, give or take, of seeing visibility as well.
Okay. And then Beth.
So these days I'm wearing full plate armor. I've got a belt over the plate armor with like my leather hip pouches that carry most of my survival goods, including a lot of food, strapped to each hip. And I wear like a thick woolen scarf these days, kind of like tucked into the armor, but like around my face to protect it from the cold. And I think that plate armor is supposed to have a helmet, but it's kind of funny to like picture Kebet always having this helmet on. But I guess that's kind of what's happening these days.
I think it's like video game logic. Like, you don't have to have the helmet on. Like,
yeah, like,
or it's just a really beautiful helmet that looks great with your horns.
Like the visor has like a hook, so like she can clip it up so it doesn't look like in front of her face all the time. But she's got like I think 3 weapons strapped to her back these days. Yeah, 3.
Oh.
protective spells on Kebet?
No.
I thought you did your I'm super strong.
How long does that last? That's
So sorry, I need to pee.
Is channel divinity
10
minutes?
10 minutes.
It's
10 minutes. There you go. You still got that.
All right, then I still have Peerless Athlete activated. I don't get large at this point because I don't want to trigger more spider web by taking up more space.
Sure.
And
yeah.
Ava's got Long Strider too.
Right. Okay, you've turned, you've run north as you see disturbances of the webs coming from the east. Esmond, as you guys are dashing toward the north as quickly as you can, I mean, there's crisscrossings of webs. Roll roll a stealth ability check for not tripping through webs yourself as you lead the way. I'm sorry, acrobatics or stealth, your choice. Mm, 12. Okay.
I'm going to use a spark point. I want to see if I can get more than 12.
All right, give it a roll.
Dirty 20.
Ooh, dirty 20. So you were managing to jump over, duck under these scarlet webs stretched out in every direction.
As I'm doing it, I'm guiding everyone behind me. I'm pointing out everywhere that they need to, as carefully as they can, avoid touching this webbing.
Yes, please roll a charisma ability check for your ability to communicate that clearly to your friends.
Can I roll charisma to accept him?
Not yet.
19.
19, doing a fantastic job. Yeah. So with Esmond ducking seemingly at nothing, he jumps over one portion. Is that a log? Wait, no, there's nothing there. And instructing each of you of the dangers that are all around you. You've managed to navigate your way through a vast swath of temporal webbing without tangling in any of it. You hear the chiming sounds of the temporal weaver's webs oscillating as it seems to pass south of you, headed to the west. And you found yourself in a hearts pounding, heavy breath in a grove of trees. It seems to be in a safe location.
Esmond, reaching relatively safe point, and they're running away. Esmond has kind of like stopped and has an arm against a tree and holding his head against it, and is just breathing heavily. Just mutters to himself, "This is the worst day, I think, of my life. Oh my god."
If I'm still being... No, because that would be silly for doing, like, limbo, basically. Still hasn't spoken a word since the Angel of Doors.
I think that with you being invisible, I'd be too afraid to put you down and lose you. So, Kaveth would try to hold on to Araya the entire time, unless it, like, really didn't make sense.
Rhea has forgot. She'll have dropped the invisibility to hear the instructions. She can't hear nothing.
Esmond
Just was a
will,
reaction.
kind of recovering from himself, Esmond will push off the tree, turn around, and go and hug each one of you tightly around your neck. Just pure relief kind of taking over him for a moment. Okay, we're out of the webbing. We're out of. I think we're out of the immediate danger of that spider. I think.
There was webbing?
But what was the other? What was the other thing?
That was the thing that Ava and I have seen before. The angel of doors.
But your safe space, it wasn't a door for it to close.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't supposed to be. I don't know what it was doing there.
Why isn't it closing this door?
I don't think this is a door. I was saying before that this bubble that we're in isn't a normal portal. I'm not sure what it is. It's just a bubble of chronomantic magic.
So while we're in it, you can't do any chronomantic magic.
I don't know what counts as chronomantic magic. I don't know what I can do. That's the thing. I know I can't do it, but I don't know what it is I can do. I didn't even know that I could do it. Vedrian had said that I had it about me. I didn't believe him, though. That's...
Okay. Well, maybe to be safe, we just don't cast any magic for a little while, and then we get out of range, and we just use our heads and our feet.
We gotta keep moving.
Yeah.
Ava's eyes are like red, and her hands are shaking a bit. Her knees are caked in dirt, and she's got sweat and sort of snow mixed in with her hair a little bit. And she's like, how long can you keep seeing, Esmond?
DM, how long have we been running?
Probably good. It's been a whole other 10 minutes.
Esmond will stand in front of you, Ava, and clasp a hand on your shoulder and just kind of try to help you calm down the same way that you helped him. I've got maybe 40-ish minutes. We can keep an eye out for any more webbing.
Should we go east now?
It might be safe to start heading that direction, yeah.
Right.
You realize one thing. You were the one who'd originally been leading the way, right? Like when you were overland traveling before? I think you were, yeah. Having run north to avoid the spider and to avoid where it seems like the spider came from, the terrain, you're not going to be able to continue directly east. You're going to have to veer off to the north. And if you had to guess, going this direction is going to make you lose an entire day of travel.
Hey, but it's a day without a spider.
Esmond will share that, so we're not going to be able to directly continue east. If we continue north, we're going to lose maybe a day, but no invisible temporal webbing, at least.
A day doesn't matter. The safe path forward, and then where we could do the most good. And a day late is better than not at all, and inside of a spider.
DM, Ava is starting to look around just while they're standing here breathing really heavily. She has an idea pop into her head, and she's starting to look around for animals of any kind. Squirrels, birds, anything besides them that's just around.
Make a
Disney
nature roll, please.
princess.
A nature roll?
Yes, please.
All right, give me a...
Araya, your sanctuary spell ends.
Oh, yeah.
And Ava, your familiar is dead.
We should just move continually. Being tired is better than being dead.
I had to use a inspiration to reroll.
With a dirty 19 there, you don't. It's like see with your eyes any animals, but you do see the telltale signs that there are animals here. You can see some scrapes on a tree where something must have rubbed up against it. You can see those holes in the snow. Those are probably small rodents that have come out from their hibernation for just a moment. Yeah, wait, that nest. That's not an abandoned nest. There are creatures here. Animals.
She sniffs a little bit. Esmond, why... the animals are around here. Why aren't they they're not affected by the webs you see? Is it just us or you?
No. There just isn't any webbing. It's not as dense in this area.
It's certainly not as dense here, but there is still webbing. But you guys are kind of in you're kind of in a trough, sort of in the landscape. So it's hard to know what the webbing is like until you get to a hilltop.
We're kind of in a declined position in the landscape. There's not much webbing here. There might be more further on, but I won't be able to see until we get further up the hill.
So anything that touches its webbing affects it?
It seems like to be a spider in that traditional sense, in that it can sense the vibration in any of its webbing at no matter how far out it goes. Yeah.
Ava's starting to remember back about all of the invisible obstacles that they were dodging for like the last 10 minutes as they were sprinting through. Well, I mean, there's so much of it. Like, it would be... How would it know? If everything touches the webs, never mind. Never mind. She shakes her head and just sort of looks like she's trying to think about something but having a hard time with it.
Ava, if you have a strategy, share it. We're really running in the dark here.
It went after the bird that got caught in the web because of the magic, and you said saw you and other things with your magic. I don't know if it cares about anything, just regular stuff. I think it might just care about stuff that's touched by chronomancy. Would that make sense?
Maybe. I have no idea, honestly, right now. I'd have to study on it, but it's based on this environment and how that creature operates. It's entirely feasible.
Okay. This might be really dumb, but what if you just try touching one of them with a stick? Or tell me how to touch one with a stick. I can't see it, but... I mean, it shouldn't do anything, right? It should just be a normal vibration. It shouldn't be able to tell. It would be like a branch falling from a tree or something. Right?
I don't know if that's something that we want to study right now. Shouldn't we just take this opportunity to just keep moving instead of trying to see if we can attract it towards our current location?
Yeah, we need to make some distance.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to attract it. I just was trying to see if the webs are something that... I'm trying to figure out what of it triggers it and what doesn't, and I just had an idea that maybe some stuff, regular stuff, doesn't, but it's fine. We can let's just rest.
Not rest, run!
Well, we are going to have to find a place to rest soon, though. Ava's right about that. We've been moving all day.
Just, lead wherever. I'll follow with you guys, whatever.
No, it's all right. Let's check this, because we're going to keep moving anyways. We're going to keep moving north. So Esmond is going to walk west about 30 feet from our current position. He's going to take just a random fallen stick, find webbing in the area, and he's just going to hover the stick over some webbing that he can find and just drop it. And I want to see if that affects the webbing at all.
Invisibility. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, while as is walking away, Kveth turns to Ava and says, if you're getting tired, I can carry you for a while. I carried Araya, and like, it doesn't bother me to trudge through snow this much. You can just... She'll hold her arms out.
has the briefest of smiles, but her hands are on her knees, and she's breathing pretty heavy from the severe run, and she sort of nods, like you get the non-verbal that I can't think of how else to say it, as in like, yep, I might take you up on that. Not just yet, but yeah, I totally might take you up on that.
With your seed invisibility, you can still see the strands of crimson light spread out in all directions, tangled, overlapping, sometimes thick, sometimes thin. You approach one of them, stick in hand, and as you hover the stick over the web, you sure you drop it?
Yes.
Passes right through in effect.
Ape is breathing hard, just watching.
Okay. Esmond will turn, and he has a slight smile about him. Ava, your theory was correct. Non-magical things seemingly just pass through the webbing to no effect.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you all should be walking through the webbing all nonchalant. I certainly will continue to be avoiding it. I think you all should do the same. But at the very least, any loose items or creatures will pass right through and not attract it towards our position.
As long as it's not magic, right?
Correct.
Well, unfortunately, my armor is magic. So,
And you will have to
I'll be
take
careful.
Yes, you will have to take my direction.
Well, I could. No, but even. Everything we carry, really.
Yes, and that is why I think that regardless of non-magic items passing right through it, you will all have to follow my direction as closely as you can as I navigate us through the webbing.
Ava just nods, stands up a little straighter. Looks like she's about ready to like keep moving if everyone's ready.
We won't have to be running this time, so we can take it a bit more easy. And maybe, I don't know, if we can get an hour out, maybe we can start looking for a place to rest for a full evening.
Right. Okay, that's good news. That's good news. Today is terrible, but horrifying.
And I also have theories about rope trick, but we can discuss those.
I'm not going back inside one of those.
I actually think I know what happened. I think I know how to avoid it again. But obviously test it, but discuss that later.
No.
Wait, I know something that might help. Do we have 10 minutes, or do we need to keep moving?
Fear-induced running sounds really helpful right now.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I think that'd be better for me too. Let's just keep going, I guess.
Okay. All right. I'll lead the way, and instead of running this time, Esmond will continue to lead the way north. I've got about 30-ish minutes now, I think, remaining. And depending on how, I mean, you tell me how thick the webbing is in another 30 minutes of travel.
After another 5 minutes, moving carefully without triggering any of the webs, you make your way to the top of the hill. And as you do, perhaps your stomach sinks because you can see the webbing stretches as far as you can see across the treetops. Tangled between them, it must be for miles and beyond. And a question, perhaps, how long has the spider been doing this?
All right, what do you see, Ez?
Esmond's mouth is slightly agape, and he's just staring straight ahead. And he just turns and finds a tree and just slides against it, falling to the ground.
And... Actually, yeah, no, keep doing shit.
Sensing that Esmond is not shouting about anything in their immediate space with webbings and stuff, she sort of takes a word from him, or a direction from him, and walks towards the direction where he is, turns around and slides down against the same space, sort of catty corner on a 45-degree angle to where Esmond's sitting, and then just tilts her head back and closes her eyes, and starts to just try to think.
Esmond, roll perception check. You can see the last set of webs you'd instructed everyone to step past. Everyone got over it without touching it. But you realize one of the weapons hanging off of Gabeth is like passing back and forth between the web, through the web. It's just you standing there. And it's not doing anything to the web.
Beth, can I see that web and stopping himself, realizing how heavy your items are.
I hand him the warhammer that I made that imitates my head.
He goes. He like.
It has to be one of your magic weapons.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just assumed that it was probably not the magic weapon. All right.
Now he motions towards one of your magic weapons. Follow me real fast, and he's gonna lead you towards an area with webbing. Do me a favor, Gabeth. You said your armor is magical?
Huh?
Place your foot right here, please.
She very slowly and gingerly puts her foot where you ask.
And I want her foot to like be passing through the webbing, her whole fucking leg.
I'm wearing boots of springing and starting.
Okay. Real test. Everyone stand up. Just be ready as a precaution. Okay.
What are you doing?
Well, there are miles and miles and miles of webbing further north of us. There's no way that we're going to be able to traverse it. With my see invisibility spell cast, because I can only have that up for an hour, and I only have so much energy to myself to spare in a day. So, based on what I've seen thus far, magic does seem to just pass through the webbing fine, just like the natural creature. So it's not a matter of magic specifically. So your theory is looking to be more and more correct, Ava, that only temporal or chronomantic magic can get caught in the webbing. And so there's only one last thing to check right now, and I'm going to slam my hand through the webbing.
What? I threw your hand through the webbing. Questions. What's in that hand? What spells do you have cast on you, etc., etc.?
The only thing I have cast that is currently up is see invisibility, and Gift of Alacrity was casted earlier on the dove, but that has been killed since. So that is no longer in effect.
As you pass your hand down through the web, it barely clings to you. There's a very slight, but not nearly what you had seen before from Ishtalan and when the creature was moving through the webs.
Oh, fuck me. Oh, God. Okay. Esmond just gives out a massive sigh of relief. Okay. Okay, good news. Mostly good news and bad news. We're okay to travel through the webbing, I think. For the most part. I think we're okay. I stick.
Do you want to poke it with the weapon just in case? I mean, I can't tell what you're doing. Did you push your hand through?
Yeah, my hand just passed through the webbing, and stuck partially, but not nearly enough to cause enough vibration to attract the creature towards this direction, I don't think. So I think we might be safe to travel through moving forward, or we can take 10 minutes and I can try to detect magic and see if I can learn anything more specifically to make our journey a bit easier on us.
That's not the spell you cast inside the hiding place, right?
No, that was a different one.
I don't know. It seems like a bad idea for you to cast if this...
I think Ava's right. We're just going to make our way to the tower. No magic. Just us, and we'll go safely.
The problem is you can't go safely if I'm traveling with you.
That's nonsense.
Ez.
I'm a liability right now because of something about me and this place being connected. I don't know why, and I don't know what it is, but it exists. And if we're going to continue to travel towards the tower, if I'm going to continue to travel towards the tower with all of you, we need to know as much as we can to reduce the chances of me specifically causing any further dangers.
We'll figure it out as you're not separating from us. That's out of the question.
It's not.
It's worth the risk.
It's not separating. I just, if you allow me 10 minutes to use my detect magic spell.
Wait, no, I'll do it.
Can you do that?
Yeah. I can't do some of the other stuff, but I can do that.
Okay, maybe, yeah. Maybe you'll be able to see a connection that or see something that I wouldn't be able to, but are you, and he looks towards, Ankabeth, would you both be alright with taking another 10 minutes?
Yes.
Anything, yes, of course. But you said that you touching it wasn't as much? Like nothing's gonna...
From what I can see, you all are able to pass through it just fine, even with your magic items and your magic weapons. There's a minor tug, but incredibly minor, similar to, a more traditional spider web. When I pass through it, just myself, my being, I tug slightly more on it.
Okay. So I got two conditions for us resting and doing this. One, and she takes out the ring that she had lent to Peach last and hands it to you. You've had it before. And she says, "You're putting this on just in case." And two, you're staying very close to me. You are not to get out of arm's reach of me at all times. Worst case, if that thing tries to grab you, I'm gonna grab you, and I'm gonna keep you in this damn plane, or it's gonna take me with you. Okay? You will not be alone.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, are we in a clearing? Can you point me to a place that, like, I can try to cast it where I won't instantly, be overlapping with a web just in case or something?
Esmond will take Ava by the hand and lead her towards a spot near an intersection of webbing, but just like 2-3 feet away from it, so not close enough for her to like immediately touch it, but be close enough to detect it.
Okay, so it's like over there.
Yeah, about 3 feet in front of you.
Okay. Is this the furthest I can be from it? Like, is there a place that I can be, I guess, is there a clearing where it's like no webbing at all, or is it like all around?
It pull you back like 10 feet away. I mean, we're in a clearing currently, where it's not as dense, but in the immediate surrounding area, it becomes more dense, especially further north.
Okay. All right. I guess this is as good as it gets. Sounds like. Okay. She looks over at Araya and Kubeth. She's like, sort of nods. It's like, I'll give me like 10 minutes, and she looks back towards Esmond. I'll describe to you what I see. Unless, well, do you guys want to just try to actually rest, like, before we do any of this, in case we have to keep moving?
I'm good to keep going. I'd rather not wait in an area that's too dangerous. Unless you think there's nowhere else.
I don't know.
I've only cast a couple things.
I kind of burned through a lot of energy so far today. If you're gonna take 10 minutes, I might also take 10 minutes myself, if that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be the same time for everybody, I suppose. If, you know.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to. Esmond's going to find a nearby tree without any immediate webbing, lay up against it, and tap the wand against his forehead and cast Catnap on himself.
What's it look like?
He doesn't snore. He has small meows for.
Oh, it's a honk me me me.
Yes.
Are you a honk me 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 or a snoo snoo type of snoring? But yeah, Esmond is just going to zonk himself out for 10 minutes.
Alright, well, he has the full 10 minutes and then plus one more before, boof, the magic from Detect Magic. Ava, once again, sort of doesn't sit this time in the clearing. She paces around for just a little bit and shaking her hands. She still wipes her face a little bit. Seems like she's really just trying to compose herself after all this stuff. After taking a few breaths, she sort of kneels down in the snow, puts both knees under and sits on her knees, and then begins doing small gestures with her hands and whispering a little bit under her breath. It's a repetition of something that continues over and over. And as it builds towards the end of the 10 minutes, that's the only time she starts to speak in a volume that seems to be audible enough and forceful enough for actual magic to be pulled into the world. And yeah, at the end of it, as usual, small boats, points of light just coalesce, little constellations come together until finally her eyes themselves seem to turn into little bits of stars that glow brightly and then dim down to just little 2 beads of light that would be seen inside her iris.
Through your detect magic, you've cast, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, you see an aura of enchantment magic clinging to Esmond for sure. Pretty sure you see some abjuration magic of Araya's mage armor clinging to her as well. If you have, do you guys have other spells casting?
Well, I have like the cursed ring and stuff, but this.
No magic items, just spells.
Oh, okay.
Technically, Esmond still has the invisibility for like another 20 minutes, I guess.
Okay, and that's not a concentration?
Nope.
Okay, yeah, and whatever school of magic that is, you also see intertwined with that enchantment aura on Esmond. So detect magic. You do not see any webs.
Okay. Yeah, she, not seeing or sensing any webs, she sort of closes her eyes a little bit, and it doesn't seem to have any effect on how she feels the magic around her. She can still see the essence of of Araya, Kabeth, of Esmond, all the magic on them. Sort of, she opens her eyes, closes her eyes. It doesn't matter, but she's trying to feel in the direction of the webs where Esmond said, and it seems like nothing. She kind of opens her eyes a little bit and looks towards Esmond, who's... Oh, sorry, Chris, go ahead.
No, I'm actually going to make a slight amendment to that. You... Every now and then, maybe just as though the wind is blowing, you catch glimpses of the webs, but it's only like when they're moving. There's a slight vibration, you see them, and then as they stop moving, they vanish.
Okay. With the magic, in addition to being able to see them, can she discern anything about them in terms of... I'm just trying to get information to relay in character to Esmond.
Yeah, I'm going to say... Well, interesting. I don't know if it was ever... There's a strange aura around them that you're not familiar with, actually.
Okay. Is there anything that she could compare it to, if magics, different kinds of magic were colors or flavors of something? Is there something you could sort of blend together and be like, oh, it's sort of...
Yeah, it's something that's kind of like divination. It's pretty close.
Okay. Perfect, yeah. She keeps closing her eyes and sort of canting her head a little bit, like she's trying to sense. It's just like anything else, like tasting or hearing, seeing, feeling. Just this is a sixth sense in the truest sense of it, and
there's some elements. It's kind of like transmutation magic, but no, that's not right.
Mm-hmm. She's saying this sort of aloud as she like sort of cants her head, and she's sort of just trying to describe it to Esmond. I still can't really see him until they kind of like move a bit, like when they vibrate on the wind, and they have sort of a feel of like the two magics you just told me about that I'm sorry, I'm completely blanking on.
Divination, transmutation.
Thanks. The divination, or maybe like transmutation. It just kind of, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to describe them beyond that. They're different. And she opens her eyes and it's like, I think that's about all. I can't think of anything else.
Okay, all right. I want to get your opinion on something before we move on. Esmond's gotten up and, 10-minute nap. It's fine. It was a terrible nap, frankly, given the situation. Esmond will walk over and... can you tell me what you see when I interact with the webbing? And he's going to, similar to before, he's going to wave his hand through the webbing, having it partially tug on him, but not enough to cause massive vibrations. But I want to see what I want to know what Ava sees when Esmond passes through.
She kneels down sort of right next to him, getting as close to it as she can, even though she can't really see it. She is trying to, like you would study a flower or something in the ground, or an insect.
Roll both perception and arcana. Yeah, you see that the magical aura of Esmond's see invisibility spell. You still have that on you, right?
Still up.
Yeah.
Another 20 minutes.
You see like residue of it clinging behind, like wisps of smoke, attached to the web.
Esmond, she grabs his arm. It's your magic. It is your magic. It's your spell, the one that's still active. It's like I can see little bits of residue clinging to the web.
Okay. Cutting it. See invisibility is done. Stopping it, and I'm going to pass my hand through the webbing where I believe the webbing was before again.
Passes right through.
Yeah, she squeals a little bit. Yes! Yeah, it's nothing.
However, Ava, with your 23 perception and your 25 arcana, you make out it's so dim. It's like when you look at Zephyrus or look at Araya. There's this very subtle hint of a magic aura that's on Esmond that's the same as the webs themselves.
She takes note of that and pauses for just a second after, and like in the midst of like kind of laughing, and sort of her face for just a moment sort of drops the smile, and then she shakes her head and goes, "Yeah, it's great. You can just pass right through it." So
Really? There's nothing like else that's on me that's like causing attraction?
You're not interacting with it at all right now.
Esmond like is on his knees and just kind of laughing to himself in relief. Okay, maybe it's not. Maybe I was jumping to conclusions. Okay. So, if it was just the active spells, that means we can all, even with our magic items, can still pass through the webbing. Okay, yep. So then we proceed, right?
But first, we should get away from the thing that, because you had an active spell, right? So you triggered this spot a little.
Well, not. Not enough to attract the spider, but yes, we should travel maybe another hour out before we find a place to camp. But yeah, I think
so we're gonna rough it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to stow away my wand while we're in this place.
It's not terrible. Ava, that's wonderful. This is wonderful. It means that. I wonder why it's so attracted. Do you think it has to do with? Do you think it's connected to the tower?
Maybe. There's lots of theories that I need to run through, but at the very least, it seems like I immediately don't attract it. Maybe it's just the spells that I cast. I don't know. Either way, I think we can travel more or less safely. Just ixnay on the magic, on the agic may.
On the Elspay.
Yes.
Or is it Pelsay?
Ava, with her spell up, is gonna also just sort of try to see what happens if she touches the webs.
I'm with Detect Magic Cast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a slight little vibration to the web. Roll in nature.
Okay, 1 sec.
Hmm, 18. Well, you can't be sure, of course, that this temporal weaver is anything like other spiders, but that kind of vibration on a web, just a bit of wind or maybe a leaf that fell, spiders don't go for that. They don't go for every single thing that moves the web. It's something that disturbs it in a major way, in certain rhythms, like an insect caught in it. They'll just ignore something so trivial as that.
Ava sort of smiles a little to herself, remembering all of the books that she would read from the library in their small town when she was just a child, and thinks back to these the spider comparisons, hoping this to be true. She sort of comforts herself a little bit, and then relays basically the same thing to everyone else. Like, I think we'll be fine if we don't make any big tugs. It's not gonna go after all the little ones, so.
So, should we find ourselves caught for some unknown reason, we should just hold still and then cast silence.
No.
We should duck and
No magic.
roll.
Yes.
No magic, I think, is the name of the game here.
Okay. Okay.
Ava, it's really creepy that you know so much about spiders, but useful. So she kind of like slaps Ava too hard on the back and says, "Thanks for that."
Thanks. I just thought they were neat. They do all these. Have you ever like watched the webs that they make? They're actually kind of pretty, and they're all unique. She just starts to sort of talk a little bit about spiders.
Kibet just nods along and has this look on her face like, huh.
As we're walking along, Esmond has kind of a smile of relief about him. And he's going to take his wand and he's going to stow it in a holder underneath his poncho, and he's going to reach into his satchel and pull out his rifle, the Maelstrom rifle, and we'll just carry that with him
What?
as his primary weapon currently.
What kind of bullets does that one use?
The usual kind?
Just normal ones?
I mean, I can use a. I also have some firebrand bullets I got from Vithedrian after he passed. But I mean, just the usual kind.
She sort of like turns to her bag and hands you another one of Adrian's bullets. I wasn't trying to keep this.
Okay, I mean, it's good that you either give it to me or Peach, wherever she is, whenever she comes back. Yeah, I'll take this, and he'll stow that into his satchel.
It's just one. But I had it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Thanks.
She's blushing though. She doesn't like admitting to like the theftness.
Well, just figure out a direction and let's just head that way, wherever you guys see a good campsite.
Let's just keep heading north and just everyone keep an eye out. See, hopefully we can find a nice warm cave.
Ava, after creeping out Kibeth with a little more of spider facts, may have been slightly intense. She creeps her out and sort of drops to the back afterwards, and her social sort of stuff sort of drops away and her face becomes a little serious as she's behind everybody else. And then as she's walking along, she continues to hold up Detect Magic, and she's trying to sort of get a sense of what that essence of what is Esmond, and just sort of concentrate on it and feel it out as they're continuing to hike for the next
Oh, you lying bitch.
Allie, are you listening to somebody or are you just confused?
My sister and niece arrived here, and I was trying to figure out if I was hearing child noises from Jess's end or. But I took my headphones off, and it is, in fact, my end. She's not asleep in the living room.
And Nina's not home yet.
Before too long, you've headed down into thicker portions of forest, farther away, headed curving north, away from the strange anomalous shipwrecks in the Temporal Weaver. If you would, please give me a little bit of a montage as you travel for the next 6 days, fairly uninterrupted.
Ooh. Yeah. It takes Ava like the rest of the day, and after at least a good night's sleep and maybe at least one more, before she seems to come back to being a little bit more of herself. Still a little bit skittish and just not quite as playful as she had been before that. But after a few days, maybe a couple days, she sort of returns to herself, and for the most part, just sort of hangs out near the middle or the back of the group, looking around, helping to scout, being a little bit quiet, and only she's noticeably quiet only during after small breaks, whenever they stop for 10 minutes or more. She seems to cast a little bit of magic, and then for the next hour of hiking, it's as if she's a little quiet and doesn't seem to talk as much. But otherwise, she comes back and is a little bit more of herself.
Beth has been talking the ear off of all three of you about her plans to make some kind of like sled device once we stop long enough for her to build some stuff out of wood. Like, she's definitely not proficient in carpentry, but she fixed the roof of her like workplace when she crashed into it. She feels confident that she could build some kind of sled thing that she could pull stuff on, or potentially her friends in times when you gotta get out of there real fast. She's been like walking and sketching like with charcoal on a little scrap of paper.
In the times that we stop at any sort of camp, Aria has sort of taken up the making tea or whatever food, but you find that there's no taste to really anything she makes. The tea tastes really healthy. There's no salt or sugar or pepper or spice or any of the nice things that make things nice. It's like kind of like Ez knows what this is like. It tastes like food at the temple. It's very clarifying for the heart and the body and the mind, and she's happily like stirring a pot of really tasteless porridge. The only glimpses of happiness are you get of some of the random fruit bread, which is still kind of a squished mix from her special pouch, but she seems to enjoy at least that they're safe, that they're walking with a purpose, and doesn't seem to want to talk about the horror of the thing that was in the magic trick trap.
Beth seems perfectly happy with the food. She's
Really? You know,
I have no idea what's going on. I walked away for a minute.
Oh.
Way too chipper when I returned.
6 delightful days have passed without us dying.
Mhm.
6 days, almost a week of no death.
I feel like you guys are trying to pull a trick on me.
Nope.
Absolutely not. Unless Chris is, and then we all fell for it.
No. We traveled for 6 beautiful days, but we're about to get to the end of that, so we're just describing the nice, pleasant times we had for 6 days. So
Yeah, how was it for like a very magical subset of our group trying to travel with no magic?
for 6 glorious days.
6 no magic days. All prayers and aesthetic food.
Uneventful and lovely. Esmond got plenty of time to study every night. 6
But
days
no
and
casting
6
of
nights.
I had to go pee, and I feel like I'm being punked for it.
We are definitely
Nope.
not punking you. What does Esmond do if he can't cast magic for 6 days, but we're traveling in the middle of the woods eating very boring temple food? All her rations are temple rations.
I mean, the same thing that he does literally all the time. He's studying.
Try to save the world?
No, well.
That was a good
apparently.
Pinky in the Brain reference. Thank you.
Uh,
That was great.
I mean, Esmond just studies the spell scrolls and the journals that he's collected. So wait, so hold on. So you're saying 6 days of travel have occurred, Chris?
Yes.
You travel for the next 6 days, relatively uninterrupted, eating bland temple food and pocket snacks and things you're able to sparsely forage here and there.
Do
That's
I
been talking your ear off the whole time about hands.
learn the spells that I've been studying?
Well, you get 6 long rests worth of.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to do math.
It's
Because,
like Christmas.
no, legitimately, I'm gonna have to do math because if that's 6 long rests, I'm gonna have to like crunch the numbers to determine like what spell scrolls I learned.
Nice. That's 3 full spells, right? Because that's 6 times 4, half of a long rest. So 6 times 4, 24. How many hours is it per spell? Well, you have 24 hours to divide up.
Yes. Yes, but there's also the journals that I was going
Ooh.
to study, which, Chris, I would have to message you about, I guess.
We can get into that progress, but you've had that time. We'll see what you did.
So you were a bookworm this whole hike?
Esmond's a bookworm every hike, all the time.
Do we have to like tend you with a stick while you have your nose in the book or walking ahead of us, and we're just like kind of just like keeping you on
No,
path?
when we're traveling, he's not as effective at studying, obviously, because we're traveling. But otherwise, at night, at long rests, he's studying intently.
So Ava is Snow White, and you're Belle.
I guess so.
Ah, damn it, Kevin, you got the best one.
Excellent.
I'm fine with that.
Alright. On the 6th day, Araya and Kebeth, give me a little scene in the moment as the two of you are kind of leading the way along the trail. Not the trail, through the wilderness, headed east. You're probably still a good half a day, maybe a full day from where you're trying to be.
The sled is a good idea, but honestly, I don't think it would fit through these trees. So you need maybe like a luge. A luge.
I mean, I feel like even like a narrow toboggan could be useful. We'll put the runners so that they'll turn as I make turns, so that you guys don't fall off as I go fast, and the snow doesn't slow me down as much. Like I don't sink in quite as much as you guys because of the boots.
But isn't it a bit demeaning to be reduced to a forgive me for saying this, but like
A horse?
yeah.
No, because
I think
it's more important to me that my friends make it somewhere safe if we're in trouble or like I help out by carrying stuff that's heavy than I don't know. That doesn't. No, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I was a delivery person in town. My whole job was to carry things around
So
town.
you
So
just want to
this is
deliver us safely.
exactly.
Well, I believe that it's quite generous of you to imagine these things. I hope the need doesn't rise. I mean, I rather like walking. It's good for you. It's just nice.
true.
It's nice. I feel. Well, it feels good. Like we're not hunted actively, and we're gonna solve this. We're making real progress.
As Araya says this, Kabeth, you realize you've caught a glimpse of something up ahead. It's, is that a figure, a shape, something that's not tree and hill and rock like you've been seeing? It's the shape of a person just for a moment between the trees, far up ahead of you. I don't seem to have seen you yet.
I put like a hand out to stop the group, and I kind of crouch down a little bit. And as I do, it's like clink, 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 clink. And then I'm like, you guys, is that a person? That's definitely like a person, and not just like a shrub, right?
Ooh.
I'm really not good at this. I think I should get my eyes looked at.
What does Ava see?
Yeah,
Man, everyone
Esmond
roll a
say?
perception check.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
I'm really not sure
my
what I'm looking at.
goodness. I'm just saying, I have never rolled a perception check so high in my entire time playing this game with Araya.
That is a 19.
I
Is that
see the person!
But I think it's Ava with the natural 20.
Oh my god.
That's
Huzzah.
Ava, you realize, yeah, you see a figure. Oh, they're all in white. Wait, no, is that snow on them? They seem to be. They're kneeling. What? Are they cut? No, they're. It's a pond. There's a frozen pond, and there's a figure kneeling in the middle of the pond.
Yeah, there's a frozen pond up ahead. There's a figure. If we if we get within 1 mile of it, I'll tell you every detail.
You're
Sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, she she it's the most ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm just get a kick out of that. Still, her go gadget eyes. Yeah. All right. So there's a figure kneeling on a frozen lake. It looks like they're covered in small bits of snow.
And let's use that ability. As you peer closer, what is allowing you to see in such detail?
There's sort of a uncomfortable. It's not that it's completely unpleasant. There's a small warm sensation whenever she actually focuses, and her eyes sort of physically change shape just a small amount as she looks off into the distance. It's like an extreme version of what your eyes might do naturally. There's a small warmth from her head. I can't remember what it's called. It's not a ringlet. What's the thing called? It's a little tiara.
Circlet.
Circlet. Thank you. The circlet is just a little bit warm, but there's something slightly off about it that's just a little unnerving, a little uncomfortable. Like if you were to have a nice warm slug on the back of your hand, it's just at the same time kind of a little gross, even if it doesn't feel instantly gross. Something about it is not perfect. Yeah, she's and as they sort of got that and she stepped up before doing this, she would have removed her hood. Breathing in the fresh air, all of the smells and sounds would sort of come sweeping in. And she focuses her eyes and looks off into the distance, trying to see every outline and crevice of this person or thing, creature that's kneeling on a frozen lake.
And you look close, and at first, it must be a creature in the snow, and then you realize, that's a person. Perhaps a genasi? Stone genasi? Earth genasi? No. No, that's actually a statue. You can see the cracks, completely unmoving, not breathing, half submerged in a frozen lake, head bowed, hands raised as though praying. That's a horn. That horn's broken. Wait. The nose is a little wrong, but you realize it's a Rhea.
She sort of cants her head for a second, closes her eyes, opens them back up, sort of squints in the direction, looking at it again. There's this... It's not a person, it's a statue, but... And she shakes her head, allows her eyes to sort of readjust and come back in to focus. She pulls the head back, her mask back on, and sort of looks over towards Araya and says, "Statue, Araya, it looks like you."
Like a tiefling?
No, like you.
Well, that's just silly.
Well, we can get closer, I suppose, but I think you'll agree.
She looks nervous now. Do you feel weird time stuff happening?
I'm not sure what you mean.
It's just a statue, but let's look at it.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. The best idea to look at. They're just so weird. Araya almost leads the way.
Just don't step onto the ice yet. And be careful where your feet are, just in case it's not thick.
Oh, okay. So do we have to do the thing where we're laying on our stomachs and then kind of like scoot?
I don't know how thick it is. Maybe. Just when we hit ice, let's just pause at the edge before we go any further. But hopefully the lake's up ahead and we can get pretty close from here.
Yeah.
Forward carefully through the trees over the small up of the hill. And it's not that big. It's not a huge lake. It's really a pond. And in the springtime, it's really nice here. It's all white and frozen. As you stand at the edge, you can see the wind's blown some of the snow away. You can see the ice itself, and yeah, that must be frozen all the way through. But you're all close enough to see it now. Right there in the center of the pond. It is a statue. It is quite old. There are bits of winter moss growing on it and signs of wear from rain and wind and time. One of the horns is broken, a finger's been chipped off, and part of the shoulder. But it is Araya. Maiden's robes are quite distinct. There's some details that are wrong, but it's really close.
Weird.
You're telling me.
Interesting. I know that we agreed no magic, but would you all be okay with me using detect magic and see if there's anything strange about this? This is very...
I don't think you should cast your magic if it is the most dangerous.
Now, do you want to handle it then, Doc?
I'd prefer to just skip the statue, to be honest, but if you guys think that there might be something about it worth looking at, I can.
Well, time is different, and we're caught in between two worlds, and it might help us. It's too weird. It's too much of a coincidence to not,
Okay.
right?
Kabeth is laying on. You guys like turn around and realize Kabeth is laying down on the ice. She's got her head like by the base of the statue, and she's like, "But what holds it up? Is there land? Is it an island?
No, it's partly submerged, so it's half underwater, but it's frozen. The water's frozen.
If I get wet, I get wet. I just want to take a closer look.
Kabeth is still pondering this, anyways.
Araya's gonna take some water,
Well,
step out onto
wait,
the ice and test
hold
it
on.
in the shallow part.
Well, just wait. If you were gonna do this, then it'll take... Alright, I'll spend some energy doing it, but give me like 10 minutes, and then I'll spend a little less energy.
Okay, I can wait 10 minutes.
Alright.
I'm just gonna pray, I think, for a minute and find my center. I'm a little weirded out.
Alright, so the first thing Ava does is cast a... Let me see, this is not concentration. Good. Yep, it looks like she's going to start ritually casting one spell and then cast another, and she sort of stops and then just decides to cast one spell before ritually casting the other, and she
What's
ritually
the first spell you cast?
The first spell that she cast is... Oh. Water walk.
What's it look like as you do this?
Eva sort of weaves. I'm so bad at this. Weaves her hands around a bit and sort of like shuffles her feet, and then gesturing in the air a little bit. The people all standing around her, the areas around your legs and feet sort of have some small lights glow in different ways. The shifting of constellations around your legs, but mostly concentrated around your feet, and you feel substantially more sure-footed when it comes to walking around on pretty much any liquid or solid liquid, such as ice and snow.
Does it say that? Or are you making that part up?
I think, one sec, I'll see if I can post it. One sec.
Did the pond look pretty solid?
Super solid. You're already laying on it.
Yeah, I was like, Kabeth definitely is just, like already out there in the middle.
Okay, I had to go to the other computer. I don't cast that since Kabeth is already out there. I'll just be ritually casting something else.
Yeah, I was like,
Well,
did you miss
that's-
when I was like,
No,
I'm laying
it's
in the
fine.
ice?
It's fine. Yeah, she's already out there, so she just sort of like it's like, oh, all right. So Ava is ritually casting detect magic as Kabeth is standing in front of, I guess, with the statue.
I think Beth's lying on her belly. Is that right? Yeah. All
I am
spread.
you said-
lying. I am like
Oh.
lying on the ice with my hands in front of me at the feet of the statue, kind of like trying to like peer through the ice to figure out what the hell is going on. Like, cause I don't know why Kabeth is just fascinated by the statue in the middle of the pond.
Yeah, Beth, as you scrape some snow away and you look close, the pond's really shallow. It's just like a foot deep, and the ice is frozen all the way through. The statue's just kneeling at the bottom. There may be a base under there, but it seems to have been placed in a way where it looks like Araya's just kneeling in the pond.
I say this out loud. I'm like, oh, it's shallow. I see. And I start to like get up, and then I turn around. I'm like, oh, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna... This is a really nice place for a statue.
We'll say, as you guys are doing this, it's just about then that Eve is finishing the detect magic spell, and Eve, almost the moment that you finish it, but not quite. The vision spreads out around you, and you. I don't think there are any other magical auras out right now. Maybe does Array have her mage armor on right now?
It's one of those things that every morning it's
Okay.
a magic that.
Yeah, there's the aura of abjuration magic around Araya. Nothing on the statue. It's just mundane stone. However, just a half a second after that, you hear a horrified scream, a shriek, come from just beyond the pond, just over the hill. And you all look up in time just to see what seems to be a cluster of dwarven children come tumbling over the hill, horror on their faces. Emerging, rising up behind them, is a creature with curled horns and a horrifying face, pot-bellied. It's probably 4.5, 5 feet tall, cresting over the hill with its arms raised, coming after the children.
You just have to outrun the bear.
Do we get a map, Chris? Are you loading a map? You look like you might be loading a map.
No map yet. We'll see how
Okay.
complicated it gets. Just one monster.
Esmond is going to. He's been traveling with the Maelstrom rifle this whole time, so he's going to take that, run to the side of the lake, take a knee, and he's going to aim at the creature chasing these children.
All right, kneel down with the rifle, taking aim down through the scope. You can see the crosshairs kind of fixing on the creature, but you can need a whole turn to aim if you don't want to be disadvantaged.
To clarify, this is not a scoped rifle.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, Peach has that. Can I still take the aim action?
Yeah, you can. You just don't have to. Like, you're not disadvantaged.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Esmond is going to run, take a knee, and pop shot off at the creature to try and draw it towards us instead of chasing the children.
All right, please make an attack roll.
Ooh. 19 to hit.
19 will hit. The creature's head snaps back, and there's a sound of shattering clay as the mask goes flying in different directions. The old woman's head is knocked backwards. She goes stumbling, hits the ground. You hear all the children scream, looking in your direction. Some of them tumbling down, eyes wide, looking your way.
Ava starts to sprint towards the downed person. Her hands are sort of free. She slips a little bit on the ice as she's stumbling towards the snow, towards the downed woman.
You're
Kids
a
are
bad
shrieking.
person, Chris.
Kids are shrieking, kind of crawling backwards, Ava, as you reach the old dwarven woman. Looks like a bloody mark on her forehead, but the bullet didn't penetrate it. She seems to have shattered the mask and scraped her skin.
Yeah, she pulls out her from her bandolier that Cyprid had given her as a gift so long ago, her first aid kit, and immediately begins sort of to tend to the wound, start talking to the woman. She's like, hey, oh my gosh, stay still, you're fine, you're gonna be okay, it's not that bad, okay?
I'm gonna go up to the children.
You see the children all
Planning on
cowering.
casting sanctuary.
And they're all
Nice.
cowering and backing away from Esmond after hearing the gunshot. And Array, as you approach, 3 of them kind of run and kind of hide at your skirts.
It's okay. It's she's a doctor. It has not been an ideal trip through the woods, and we thought you were in danger.
The old woman's kind of groggy. And then one of the children, their eyes wide, they look back and forth between all of you. One of them points at Kabeth. And then she points at Esmond. Kibbis! Kibbis! Get him! Get him!
I'm gonna cast Sanctuary twin spell to the kids.
Esmond is kind of in shock right now, and he has dropped the Maelstrom rifle and is kind of stepping away from it, just horrified at what he did.
Ava, roll medicine.
Will do.
$31. Yeah, this old dwarven woman's gonna have a really bad concussion if there isn't some kind of treatment.
Does she have what she would need to treat that? With a first aid kit?
Man, just some medicine will do it. I mean, just some
Okay.
healing magic will do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Ava recognizes that and looks at the children who are screaming over at Esmond, and she's like, fuck it, I guess. And yeah, she's going to cast Cure Wounds at first level on this person.
Right. Yeah, seems to relax a bit, and the deep bruise that was forming on her forehead seems to reduce into something very, very subtle. She looked up at you. Are you? You took your hood off, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
She says, "What happened?"
I'm so sorry. It was just an accident. We thought some children were being attacked, and we're so sorry. It was an accident. Can you help us? Can I help you up?
Yeah, she starts to sit up, and children have flocked to Kibeth and Araya. You're kind of hiding behind all of you.
I've like sort of knelt down with them. Shh. Ava's a doctor. Wait, you're a physicker.
Physicker.
Ava's a physicker. She's very good. The woman, she'll be okay.
Why was it so loud?
Oh, that's just the sound that one makes. Watch. He's super gentle and very smart. Put it away and come over slowly. It's gonna be fine.
You see two of them, the ones you cast Sanctuary on, their jackets look extra puffy.
Esmond will take the rifle, pick it back up, stow it into a satchel, and begin slowly walking towards Doc and the old woman, looking incredibly upset with himself.
Yeah, she's okay.
Yeah, you've kind of helped her up, Ava. And she kind of shakes her head and dusts herself off. She says, she kind of squints and pauses, look at all of you, and says, why are you wearing still your autumn festivals?
I apologize, ma'am. That was me. I acted too quickly. We've had a I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I thought children were in trouble. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
And she doesn't seem to actually understand what happened. She doesn't understand you shot her. Like, she just she says, I must have hit my head. At least one of you is wearing your proper winter fare. She gestures at Kibeth. It's a proper kibbutz.
Beth looks herself up and down, and then looks around at her friends and looks at what the kids and ladies wearing. It's just very confused.
Mm-hmm.
What day is it?
Hmm?
We've been traveling in the woods for some time and may have lost track. What event?
see. What I'm trying to remember. What day were we on last time? 60.
I had it as 67.
So then, so it's
67, okay.
73.
73rd day of winter.
Oh, okay.
Or sorry, autumn. 73rd day of autumn.
Okay.
Why?
Is there a festival? Maybe.
We're far past the autumn festival. It's almost time for the winter festival. We start the festivities. But she kind of shakes her head a little bit, looking at all of you. But you're not from around here, I can tell.
And no, we're from Shepherd's End.
Huh.
We've been traveling for quite some time. We weren't expecting to run into anyone out this way.
Yeah. Wait. Have you lived here a while? Like at this. She points at the pond. Do you know? Do you know what that is? The pond, the statue specifically. I'm just confused.
Ah, you're dressed just like her. Is that not your costume?
No, this is what I always wear. This is my habit. This is the vestments of my order.
Well, at least you're keeping your character. Yeah, I'm.
What?
Clearly, you knew. Telling his pass. Come on. Let's get you some cider. Come on, kids. Come on. And she kind of turns and starts heading to these, and the kids look nervously at Esmond. Stay close to Beth and.
No, he's fine. She'll pat a shoulder of the two. She's sanctuaried, letting the magic fade.
Esmond will. He'll walk behind, not feeling good enough to join the rest of the group.
And the old woman kind of stops for a moment. She reaches up, touches her forehead. She kind of turns back, and she looks squarely at Ava and kind of narrows her eyes a little bit. Says, "Did one of you wallop me with a rock?"
So we may have been a bit premature. We've been traveling through the woods where there were some terrible creatures, and when we heard the children screaming, you may have been accidentally trying to.
Esmond raises his hand. It was me, ma'am. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
She kind of pauses, her eyes widen a little bit. She looks at you, Esmond. She says, "Creatures? Wait, you've seen creatures this close to town?"
Not for a few days.
Where? And she
6
kind of
days.
moves the children. Hurry, back to town. Oh, and she pauses. 6 days?
Mm-hmm.
And she seems to relax.
It's just, we haven't found a place that hasn't had something gone wrong in a very long time.
We're on our way towards a stone tower. Hopefully we're headed in the right direction.
She kind of frowns a little bit when you say that. Stone Tower? The one east of Allingays Pass?
I think
Yeah.
so.
No, this sounds right.
You better explain what's going on. That place is haunted.
Well, there's some, Esmond knows.
I have a question for you, and it's gonna seem like a real weird one. She points to the lady. What year is it? Not that I know what year, not that I, the player, knows what year it is.
Just a quick minute. She says the correct year. I think we're at 11:19 at this point. 10:19. Yeah.
Okay, so we're not like suddenly transported into a future for
She says the correct. She says the correct date.
Okay, I don't mean to
just
press.
checking.
Can you? I will ask the children. Yes, let's get to town.
Let's return to the village. I'd like to with Ava look over, help to look over you, make sure that you're okay. You can tell us about your village and the festival if you'd like. I really want to take care of you. I'm so sorry.
And then one woman, she seems to be taking the situation more seriously now, and she kind of frowns a little bit and says, "Hey, come talk to the the town chief, and we'll get this sorted out. We want to maybe hear your tale. Come on, children." And she kind of gestures them along. You go heading into the east. You travel for another good 20 minutes until you start to see some signs of civilization. However, it's up ahead of you seems to be, you see some curls of smoke, and you see what seems to be homes built into like a hillside. So it's tunnels that probably lead inside of it, if you had to guess. However, as you're approaching, I want to have you guys roll a perception check again. We'll just say, good path. The other one. No, you saw the first one. Esmond. Glance to the side, you catch little glimpses of gray shapes in the snow. Again, not trees. The hillside, figures. And you see more statues.
Can I veer off slightly to try and get a better look at them?
Yeah, you maybe step to the side enough, just look past some trees, and you see an arrangement of what seems to be logs at first, but you realize the logs are stone. They're carved to look like logs, but they're stone. You see figures sitting around what seems to be... The campfire itself is empty. It's as though you would build... There's some ash, like you would build a fire in it. But you see statues. You and some of your friends. Peach is there, Casey. Well, Casey's arm's fallen off, it looks like, and parts of Peach's dress have been chipped away. But they're sitting there at a campfire. It looks a lot like you guys used to have when you hung out at the temple south of Shepherd's End.
Can I ask a question? You said that there's a bunch of statues that look like us sitting around a campfire. Is there another statue sitting around the campfire? One that I wouldn't recognize as one of us?
There's not. Oh, yes. No, there's not. Yes.
Okay. Esmond's heart gets stuck in his throat a little bit, but he kind of turns and rushes back to rejoin everyone and just kind of mutters to Kibeth, there's a ring of statues over there that look like us, like one from when we were children at Shepherd's End.
Yeah, I'm getting the weird sense. That's why I asked her the year, because there's something real weird going on. Like, she kind of said that I was in costume as we were, like, Ray and I are in costumes as ourselves. It's weird. Something weird's going on here. I think we should be careful with what we tell them. I don't think we're kind of in our reality or our place anymore at all.
I mean, it's possible that we could have walked through another threshold into a different
That's what I'm
dimension.
thinking, though, as I don't think we're, like, there's no way that these people could know about us. Otherwise, this is too weird, so.
I mean, I agree, but there's usually, like, when traveling to different realities, there's usually an actual, there's a shattering of glass type of sound, and the colors separate, and or there's the actual terror in space, but I don't recall seeing anything like that in the past 6 days. Do you?
No, but we also walked into the spider's realm without knowing it, or it walked into ours. There's
Yeah, but that's a slightly different nature.
but
Let's find
as
this chief.
as everything keeps changing, there's no way to predict anything anymore. I think we just need to play along and let's maybe tell them different names and not ours, just in case.
Well, it seems like it's a good thing to be ourselves, right? That you
We
don't make
don't we
statues
don't
about people you hate.
we don't know that, Araya. I
What
mean, we
if,
stumbled upon a society where people got sacrificed to a forge god. Let's just not assume anything here and be careful
well, we should
until
at
we know
least
their intent.
ask the stories. No, I don't sense that lying here is a good idea.
And for clarity, Esmond, around the campfire, it was you, Casey, Shalati.
Let's.
Are there any webs? Since I had detect magic, since we've been walking through this stuff.
Yeah. If you have detect magic up, yeah. Occasionally there's a little. You catch a little. They're really sparse though.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Just sort of notes that. Go ahead. Sorry, Kevin.
Let's let her lead us towards this village. Let's meet this chief, and then we'll kind of play by ear and figure out how to handle it, I guess.
Who's best at talking? She
I'd
looks
be
around.
happy to talk.
Seems good to me. I don't want to do it.
No, they don't seem scared of me. This is the first. Okay, not to get excited already, but these are the first dwarves that haven't recoiled in horror from me, ever.
It's good. Araya, I'll talk with you. I think we make a good team.
Yes. And cider.
You know I love cider. Let's get some cider.
You guys continue on to the east, following the old woman. As you move through the last copse of trees, you see clearly the hillsides that comprise the town of Ellingays Pass. You can see there are certainly tunnels that lead down inside. There are, more importantly though, fields of winter crops, enough to feed Shepherd's End easily, the survivors of Merewood.
We got to take this place. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, we need to make friends.
I know.
As you're passing by one of the dwarven farmers, they look up your way. They look at the old woman, look at you for a moment, and get a strange look on their face, and then there's a laugh. Looks at the old woman, bows his head, and says, "So for the winter." And she,
I wave.
you see a couple of them look your way and smile. One of them leans over. That's a proper maiden.
Stands up a little straighter. Hey.
I'm gonna have Zephyrus kind of zipping around, not too far, just have him zipping around, keeping an eye out for anything at the distance.
Zephyrus, Zephyrus hesitates and refuses to go.
That is fair, and I will just tuck him back into my scarf.
Just a FYI, Chris, is getting kind of late.
Yes. There's a part I would love to get to, but soon.
I'm invested.
Let's get to the part. Let's go.
I'll try to hold out, but I have a really big day tomorrow and I have to pack and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
If you need
I'm
to
gonna-
go, it's totally fine. Yeah.
I'll listen and pack, but I'm gonna have an early morning. So.
Yeah. No, yeah. Okay. And sorry. So yeah, you're waving at the farmer as you guys pass. Continue on towards the east. As you begin to reach the edge of the town proper, you notice two things. One of them is another statue, and it's Ava, but with her mask up. And she seems to be there's like a wounded person lying kind of in her arms.
I elbow Ava. These are all good statues.
Yeah, they seem pretty good. And Ava admires how pretty she is.
In her mask.
Yeah. Well, her mask is raised, right?
Yep. You're
Yeah.
not wearing your mask, but the mask on the statue is raised, right?
Oh,
Perfect.
sorry. I thought you said it was on, and I was like, that's weird, Ava.
Yeah.
As you travel a bit farther still, you're getting into the heart of town. You can begin to smell cooking food, hear the sounds of people in the town. Near the center of the town, there is a large statue. It's Kebeth, arms raised in her giant form. It's been decorated in winter holiday festive. And there's some children running kind of through the town. You see another person in what you realize is a mask of Kebeth chasing some kids.
This is both weird and I want to say nice, but mostly just kind of weird.
As we're walking through town, I want to do like a cursory glance investigation of the in the distance. Does it look like this place has suffered any damage at all from earth shakes?
Yeah. There's maybe some new construction that looks like maybe something was damaged. Yeah, there's like maybe like a windmill, maybe that had fallen over, and it looks like people are repairing it. As you guys move on, you see the woman kind of walks ahead. She's talking to another dwarf who kind of looks your way, and then he approaches you. Says, I'm the town chief. I guess I guess technically the mayor. They say you're travelers from Shepherd's End. Seen monsters in the woods.
Yes. Hi, I'm Araya, and this is, but
I'm Gilg.
nice to meet you. This is Kebeth and Ava and Esmond. We are just honestly passing through. Would it be possible for us to replenish some of our supplies? And, cider was mentioned, and it's very cold.
You have cider to go around. You come into the midst of the beginnings of the winter festival. But, things must be dire. In Shepherd's End, you've come in your autumn costumes.
No, Shepherd's End is doing pretty okay. We plan on going there after we venture a bit further east. Mirwood is not doing well, at all. What have you experienced here? Not any of... She looks around and makes sure there's, like, no kids in the vicinity.
Not in the immediate vicinity.
There hasn't been any undead, right? Here?
If we had seen any, we'd put the hammer to them.
I trust you would. I'm just so happy to see any place doing well.
I nudge Araya, and I kind of beckon her close, and I whisper in her ear, and I'm like, Araya, I don't think we're in the same reality as ours. I don't know if their Mirwood is going to have experienced what we've seen.
Yes,
they may also have a Shepherd's End that is totally fine.
But
Esmond will kind of pipe up from behind while they're whispering. It's like, "Hi, I apologize, sir. Your festival seems slightly different from our own winter festival. What is it exactly that you all celebrate here?
This time of year is for the exchanging of gifts and, well, and the coming of the gibbous. Which, well, as you know, or maybe you don't, you have strange customs over in Shepherd's End. We've got pies.
Wait, the givers? What?
You have givers here?
No. Giver's magic, the one we had, has not worked since that came anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Same.
As we do, so for the winter.
That's the same as ours.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys do not know about you guys do not have a Kibbutz tradition.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I thought we had like a little Christmas. Okay, apologize.
You have a winter festival tradition, but this Kibbutz character they're talking about, you do not have
okay.
in Shepherd's End.
Got it. I apologize. I'll walk that back.
I apologize for my ignorance, sir. Our ignorance. Who exactly is this Kibbutz character? You said that we've come in
A fearsome beast.
Costumes?
Snatches up children that misbehave, carries them off into the woods where it's too dangerous. Keeps them at 9.
Oh.
Like, it kind of sounds like Kibbutz. I'm just saying. Okay, your town is lovely. I really appreciated the art on our way in. It seems that you also have a maiden at the pond. It's really lovely.
Hark the horns of the maiden.
Yeah. What's
They
with
don't
all
use.
the statues?
Those. Been here as long as the town itself.
Really? Could I trouble you to read a book or a story about them? Everyone's fine. It was only a trip.
Some pies arrived. Please enjoy, all of you.
Yes. It's so nice to have a respite. Are we in like
Yeah,
you
quick
said in
description.
tunnels?
Yeah, a quick description. It's a hillside with like buildings built in the face of the hillside, like facades of buildings, but there's certainly tunnels that go underground. There's fields of winter crops, plentiful. There's some other buildings that have been built outside of the tunnels that are wood, probably more recent. But yeah, and the center of town, statue, large Kibbutz. Also, we're gonna say, Ava, you've been distracted. It kind of catches your attention. Ava seems to be looking at something. Ava, you see that they're built into one of the hillsides. It seems to be the facade of a temple or a tomb or a mausoleum, but above the door you see something familiar. It is the symbol of Brynhilde.
Huh. And she sort of nudges. Let me see. They're all talking, so I don't know who she would nudge.
I know all the Brunhilde stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If it's a god, I know gods.
Knowing that Araya is so into that, as she's sort of talking, she sort of like pulls at the elbow of her sleeve a little bit and sort of, when she looks at her, she nods her chin in the direction towards the statue, just to sort of let her note of it.
Ooh, Brunhilde.
Well, sir, thank you for the pies and your immediate hospitality. You're very kind. However, we've come for the purposes of actually investigating the stone tower. There are some issues back our direction that we are currently looking into, and
He kind of frowns. You don't want to go there. It's haunted.
Yes, she and he motions towards the lady that had walked in earlier. She had mentioned as such earlier. How I'm sorry. How do you mean haunted?
Hark the horns of the maiden, long known by people. We do not go that way.
Why not?
Haunted.
Mm. Thank you for your warning. We will trust the words and the intent given to them. We have great need because of, and she gestures to the white tower that pierces into the land, and the sky. Is the sky the strange color here and shattered, and we're trying to help, and we have to go to dangerous places to help.
As you please, but if you travel that way, do so at your own peril.
Everything we do is at our own peril. More peril than not lately.
Well, if you go that way, our woman watch over you.
Our woman, yes.
Nudges Ava!
And I apologize. Would we might it has been some time. Would it be all right if we potentially take refuge in a
Do you have an inn? We're at the bath.
yes, something to take place to take rest in for the evening, perhaps?
Seldom that we get travelers, but all are welcome if you need to rest, of course.
And we'll more than make up for the hospitality. If there's any work that you need done around the village, I'm quite handy with tools myself. I'd be more than happy to help.
He's a wonderful tinker.
Please do. And before you go, if you would, honor us by praying at the Temple of Brunhilde.
I would love to.
We will head there now. Thank you, Gilg.
I'm easy to find if you need me. Excellent costumes. And he heads up.
She just curtsies like that. Brunhilde, maybe she's protected this place. They are better than any place we've been. They're affected by the tower the same, but they're okay. And
yeah, that's not what I'm concerned about in the immediate.
The Rough Guts, when they were going to get more information, which direction were they trying to travel? This way?
They had traveled towards the temple.
They were going west.
Where? Well, we're kind of west and south of...
No, you're east. They were basically heading to they were trying to get like to the capital or Sofia or something like that.
Ah, okay.
Well, let's walk and talk. Let's pay our respects, I suppose.
I would love to. What sort of offering do you think Brunhilde would appreciate the most? She is a builder and a wall breaker and has blessed us, and I wonder how similar her temple here is to the one that we saw before.
Esmond's already walking
in
that direction.
Mission.
Okay. Yeah, so you pass by the sounds of the tavern and the smells of food, heading straight to the Temple of Brunhilde, built into the hillside. As you look there, you can see that it's been well taken care of, very clearly. Unlike the one in Merewood, the people here have been maintaining the stone. And as you pass in under the large, through the pillars into the large first chamber, you see again a statue of Aurea, but not kneeling, but with her hands raised, this one in much better condition than the one that was out by the lake, sheltered by the building itself. And above Aurea on the stone is engraved what seems to be poem. On either side of the statue of Araya, there are two, it looks like holes in the wall, about as thick as, say, a person's arm. But just glancing, seem to go very deep back into the stone. And there's filigree all around. And the filigree itself shows creatures in the sky and a figure with a hammer defending cowering people. You catch a glimpse of what seems to be a depiction of the White Tower in the north. You see what seems to be the bare trees of winter and the people planting crops. But looking beyond the statue of Araya on the wall, can you see the pop-up I just put in Roll20?
Yeah. Her magic guides you, let fly, like the serpent's kind crossbows quiver filled.
As you're in there, like a woman seems to come into the temple with you. She starts to sweep a little bit. Oh, don't mind me.
No, Esmond, what do you make of?
Pardon me, ma'am. I apologize for bothering you. I had a question.
Oh, hello.
This is our first time seeing such a immaculate.
It's beautiful and well taken care of.
Yes. This filigree here, this poem. What all is this in reference to?
She's been here as long as the town itself. The meaning, well, it's very beautiful. It must certainly speak about the maiden. And her magic does guide. And also she must certainly protects. I've pondered it. Yes, strange though. Well, the poem speaks of a crossbow, but I should never known the maiden to be depicted with a crossbow in any of the carvings. All these serpents.
But I thought this was a temple to Brunhilde.
Yes, it is.
Then why is the maiden here?
Is the maiden not associated with Brunhilde? Clearly. And she gestures at the statue. You're dressed just like her.
No, but do you not have you not visited the temple just by Shepherd's End before?
No.
Oh no, there's still a temple dedicated to the maidens there, and that's what we wear.
Oh, that's lovely.
I never knew that there was any depictions of the maiden beyond our temple, and Lux generally doesn't upkeep their temples so well, and I'm very delighted.
So I've heard, but hark the horn of the maiden, we keep well. We keep well the relics of old. So for the winter.
I feel like I've stumbled across something incredible, and I wish I was better informed about Brunhilde. These holes in the wall, are they meant to hold something, or she reaches to touch, or is it okay if I?
Oh yes, well, sometimes I sweep the dust out, and There's an occasional bird that'll make a nest there, but they reach back farther than I can. I've often wondered the meaning of what's depicted here, but it's a wonder.
It really is.
The maiden does watch over.
She really does, though.
Did you need anything else?
I think we're okay. Thank you for your time. If we do have further questions. Oh.
We do. We're here to pay respects.
Oh,
We were
yes.
asked. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
I was gonna offer.
take all the time you need. Take all the time you need to pray. I'll come back later to sweep. Take your time. And she kind of goes out with the broom.
I'm going to cast something. I feel something. I feel like these. I mean, it's. She's gonna reach her arm into one of the holes. It's about arm sized, and just kind of like.
Your arm fits, but it's way deeper than your arm.
She's gonna peer into it next. I've got really good dark vision.
That's true. Yeah, maybe at the extent of your dark vision, quite deep. Yeah, you almost, there's something you can barely make out. A bit of a tiniest gleam, as though there's something metal way, way back there, but it's 120 feet at least. Actually, almost exactly 120 feet.
I'm going to take Zephyrus out of my scarf and just kind of communicate with him telepathically. Hey, buddy, I know things are weird right now, but if I give you light, would you be willing to travel through that tunnel over there? And he's going to point towards the hole where Araya is sticking her arm into.
Yeah, Zephyrus looks around and seems much more comfortable now.
Interesting. Okay. Then yeah, Esmond will take a small pebble, and tie it to a string, put it around Zephyrus's neck, and turn it into a light source, essentially, using my magical tinkering ability.
No, Ez, I think I need to. It says the maiden's magic, and there's something there. I mean, Zephyrus can go that way, but I'm gonna cast something that might hurt him, and I don't want to hurt him.
All you?
There's two, though. What servant's kind? Maybe that's Shalati, or... Well, I think maybe this? And she's gonna... no. And she rereads the thing. I think this is right.
And so you're still holding Zephyrus, right?
Yeah, I haven't sent him through. I'm waiting for Araya to do her thing.
I sent one minor question over to you in the secret chat. Ha! Ha!
I do need to call it here shortly, so I know that you want to reach a certain point, Chris.
Well, I'm going to...
I think we're about there.
Yeah, I'm just going to I'm gonna cast this, and then if not this, then something else. But I think it's the something else. But then I think it could be this. I'm gonna try with something a little divine first. and then maybe it'll help me see. And she's going to, like, fire a guiding bolt through the,
Say that again.
She's gonna fire just, like, a guiding bolt towards the shining metal on the other side. And, like, watch. And see if it, like, maybe illuminates what's at the other end.
Okay. The one on the left or the one on the right?
The one she had just put her hand through, which I thought was the right-hand side.
Okay, that's that. You fire the guiding bolt, and bing, it makes contact with something at the far back. There's a brief glow, and then a sound as the glow fades.
I'm gonna... No, I think... No. Well, let me try this other then. Just gonna peer down, like, the left-hand side. I'm pretty sure it's guiding bolt.
Well, I think you just have to do 2 of them.
Okay. She'll go to the... Wait, are they, like, arm distance apart or significant distance apart?
If you realize if you stand about where the statue is, you can see down both of them at once.
I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to cast Twin Dispel Guiding Bolt down both at the same time.
Describe as you cast the spell.
So she positions herself and looks back at herself and looks and raises her hands, fingers to the edge of the hole of each of them, and her hands fill with the divine light that she so commonly, but has been the only thing that has saved her in many situations so far. I cast each guiding bolt, twinning the spell and filling both of these thin tunnels with the warmth of the maiden's light.
Guiding bolts twinned fly down each of the tunnels, striking simultaneously small golden orbs at the end. There's a glow from each of them, and then the sound of grinding stone and a satisfying and the door opens, and there are stairs that lead down. Fires ignite in sconces, and fixtures in front of them cast flickering shadows on the wall in the form of what almost seems to be a shadow play. You see a depiction of all of you, heroic and happy, as the shadows dance, and stairs that lead down into the deep. And as you look, you hear the clattering of a broom, and as you look back, the old woman, eyes are wide, mouth agape. She says, "Hark the horns of the maiden." And that's where we'll end for tonight.
Done for the year.
No,
Done
we said
for
next
the-
week.
No.
Or no? Well, damn. That's going to be exciting.
Do a cool spell! There was a thing!
Yeah.
Good job, everybody.
Huh.
Happy Winter Festival.
Happy Winter Festival.
Well, what a nice and lovely change from how we began. We were cowering inside of a pocket dimension with a giant invisible spider, and now we're in a lovely little town filled with dwarves who are
That's
all
dedicated
really nice.
to us!
Yeah.
Do
It's
you
like
guys
the town.
want Do you guys want a glimpse at the next
Yes,
poem?
yes, yes, yes.
You should be able to see it in round 20.
It's for Kabeth.
What the fuck have we walked
Oh
into?
my goodness. I'm so stoked.
That's an awesome poem, Chris. I love it. Excellent.
I'm glad
This was
you
amazing.
guys are enjoying.
I should try to wind down for bed because I'm going to Boston tomorrow for seeing a version of the Nutcracker tomorrow, but it's burlesque. Very,
Nice.
very intrigued. My friends went to
Exciting.
see it last year and they're like, "We're taking you," and I was like, "Okay." So
Yeah, I want to stay and chat a little bit, but I gotta call it. So this was
yeah.
very fun, horrifying, interesting session, Chris. Great work,
Yes.
much appreciated.
Yeah, really, really good. Super
See,
creepy.
it wasn't a trap when you came back. It's like super good stuff.
Yeah, I still have questions about that.
I am sad that I didn't have a chance to get the tall stool so that I could take Aragon down from my closet where he hides at the top and put him on the bed behind me. I went and tried to get him, but I couldn't, and I can't go out there to get the stool because my niece is sleeping. But I was like,
Nice.
hey, it would have been good.
Alright. For people who are around, we'll do like something. It'll be off plot. It like won't be this story, but if people want to watch movies, or we might do one shot or something like that. No,
I've been
just
wanting
for
to-
people
to-
who are around. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not available next week, but the following week maybe, and I'm open to running a one shot. I've been wanting to DM a little bit if
Yeah.
anybody's interested. Also, on Monday the 11th, we're watching Tokyo Godfathers at Roscoe's request, which should be interesting. And then 12/18 is Muppet Christmas Carol if you guys want to come hang out on a Monday.
Nice.
Super
Guys,
cool.
I'll talk to you all
great.
soon.
Good night,
Good
guys.
night.
Think of all the art I get to make based on this session. Yeah.
Great work
It's
again,
gonna be
Chris.
so good.
Good night, gang. Great
Good
session.
See you guys.
Deirdre's freaking out, so I gotta go like hustle.
Chris.